So if you physically harmed one, if you arrested him or blocked him or laid a hand on him, any Roman citizen could kill you for it. No trial required. No magistrate needed to sign off. The killing was simply legal. And this wasn't a metaphor. This was the actual enforceable protection standing behind the people's representatives, with the people themselves as the ones who enforced it. The second power was intercessio, the veto. A tribune could stop any action by any magistrate anywhere in Rome, any Senate session, any assembly vote, any arrest, any conscription order. He just had to say the word, and no explanation was required, and no process for overriding him. He could simply walk into a room, say no, and the entire apparatus of the Roman state ground to a halt. But look at the constraint the Romans built in on the purpose. The tribune's power was purely defensive. He could stop things. But he couldn't fund an army, couldn't assign a province, couldn't touch the treasury, couldn't summon the senior assemblies. All he could do was block. And they knew exactly what they were doing there. Because a weapon that could both block and build would sooner or later get used to concentrate power in whoever was holding it. So they cut off the building half and left him with pure blockage, pure negation. And it held for nearly 300 years, right up until somebody realized you can take a system apart using nothing but negative power. You don't have to build a replacement. You just have to keep blocking the existing structure until it collapses under its own contradictions. That story lands in 133 BC, and the name attached to it is Tiberius Gracchus. Before we get there, we need to understand how Rome made sure the right people reached power in the first place. That's the cursus honorum, the course of honors, the fixed sequence of offices that every Roman politician had to climb, with no skipping, no shortcuts, and no men handed too much power too early. The order ran quaestor first,